Look at your phone for a second. The company that made it, you could own a tiny piece of it. And the one that made your shoes. And the coffee shop you went to this morning. The 500 biggest companies in America. A little slice of all of them. For the price of a snack. With one click. No picking. No guessing. No watching charts all day. It's called an index fund. And it's quietly how most regular people actually build real wealth. The easiest way to understand it, think of an all-you-can-eat buffet for your money.
Hold on. Last time your pizza showed me what a single stock is. You're telling me I can own hundreds of stocks at the same time?
Hundreds, all at once. And by the end of this, you'll know exactly how to start with $5 and why even the people who pick stocks for a living quietly do this with their own money. Grab a plate. Let's go. So first, what exactly is an index fund? Okay, simply put, an index fund is a buffet. With a single stock, you're betting your whole meal on one dish. With an index fund, you walk up and get one plate with a little bit of every company on it. Buy one share, and you instantly own a tiny slice of hundreds of businesses, Apple, Nike, Coca-Cola, and hundreds more you've never even heard of, all working for you at the same time.
So I don't have to figure out which company is going to win?
Nope. You own them all, a little. If one company has a terrible year, you barely feel it because there are hundreds more on the plate. That's the whole magic in one sentence. One quick thing, so you're not confused later. You'll hear two words thrown around, index fund and ETF. For a beginner, just think of them as the same buffet, served on two slightly different plates. Same idea, don't overthink it. But why not just bet on the one big winner? Now, you might be thinking, why not just find the one best stock and go all in? Because picking the single winning dish is a gamble. It might be amazing, or it might show up cold. And here's the part that surprises people. Even the experts struggle. Over the long run, most professional, full-time stock pickers don't beat the simple, boring buffet. If they can't reliably do it, you and I probably shouldn't bet the whole meal trying. But with the buffet, you don't have to be right about any single company. If one dish is bad, the other 499 carry the meal.
So, boring is actually good here?
In investing, boring is beautiful. The calm, lazy plate quietly beats the stressed-out genius more often than not. Okay, so what's this index actually made of? So if nobody at home is picking the 500 dishes, who is? There's a menu. In investing, that menu is called an index. The most famous one is the S&P 500. Picture it as a list of the 500 biggest, most important companies in America. Basically, the head chefs of the entire economy, the brands you already buy from every single day. When the economy does well, those companies do well and your plate grows right along with them. And the best part, it runs itself. If a company gets too small or falls apart, the kitchen quietly takes it off the menu and adds a fresh one in its place. The buffet is always serving the winners, and you never have to lift a finger. Now, what's all this gonna cost you? Okay, this next part is the one nobody explains to beginners, and honestly, it's the whole game. The single biggest thing that decides how much money you actually keep is the price of the buffet. See, you can pay a fancy chef to handpick your dishes for you. That's an actively managed fund, and it charges you a fee every single year, whether it does well or not. And those fees quietly nibble away at your returns, decade after decade. Let me make it real. Imagine two buffets that grow exactly the same. One charges 1% a year, the other charges almost nothing. You put in $10,000 and you leave it for 30 years. That tiny, almost invisible 1%, it can quietly cost you tens of thousands of dollars by the end. Same exact food. You just spent 30 years overpaying the waiter for no reason.
Wait, so the cheap one is usually cheaper and ends up with more money?
Exactly. That's why low-cost index funds are sometimes called the closest thing to a free lunch in all of investing. Cheap buffet, full plate, more money in your pocket. So who's doing all the work here? You? Here's the laziest and genuinely best part. You don't cook. You don't manage anything. You don't even have to know what the market is doing today. The buffet refills itself. Companies grow. The menu updates. Stale dishes out. Fresh ones in, all automatically in the background while you live your life.
So I really don't have to stare at charts all day?
Not for a second. And you don't try to buy at the perfect moment either. The pros can't time it, so don't even try. Instead, you just show up every payday with the same plate, same amount, every month, rain or shine. Some months the food is cheap, some months it's pricey, and it all averages out beautifully over time. That habit has a fancy name, dollar cost averaging, but really, it just means keep showing up, set it, forget it, and let the years do the cooking. Here's the fun part. How does it actually pay you? So how does this plate actually make you money? Two ways, the same two as a single stock, just spread across hundreds of companies. Number one, as those 500 companies grow and get more valuable over the years, your whole plate grows right along with them. Number two, many of them pay dividends. That's a little bit of cash sent to you just for holding your plate. The buffet literally pays you to sit at the table and do nothing.
A plate that feeds me back? Okay, now I'm in.
And this is where it gets genuinely beautiful. Take those dividends, and instead of spending them, buy a little more of the buffet. Now your bigger plate pays you even more next time, which buys even more. It snowballs. $200 a month doesn't sound like much, but quietly compounding for 30 years, it isn't $72,000. It can grow into several times that. Same boring plate, just time and patience. All right, but is any of this actually risky? Now, fair question. Is any of this risky? Honestly, a lot less than you'd think, because you are never betting everything on one dish.
But the whole buffet can still have a bad day, right?
It can. Some seasons the entire restaurant is slow. The whole market dips. Your plate is worth less for a while. That's normal. And it has happened many times before. Historically, over the long run, the market has tended to recover and keep growing. Though, of course, nothing is ever guaranteed. And here's a mindset shift. If it drops right after you buy, that's not a disaster. That's the buffet on sale. The exact same plate, now cheaper. The calm investor just smiles and grabs more. The real risk isn't a bad month. The real risk is panicking and leaving the table. Stay seated, keep adding, and time does the rest. Last thing, how do you actually start? Alright, so how do you actually grab your first plate? It's easier than ever. Download a free investing app, search for an index fund. You'll see names like S&P 500 or Total Market, and buy your first slice for as little as $5 or $10.
You don't need to be rich. You don't need a finance degree. You just show up and start.
And don't worry, your money isn't locked away. You can sell anytime you want. But the people who actually build wealth treat this like a slow cooker, not a microwave. Buy the buffet, add a little every single month, and let the years do the heavy lifting. So, index funds in a nutshell. 1. An index fund is a buffet, a little slice of hundreds of companies on one plate. 2. You don't have to pick winners, and one bad dish can't ruin the meal. 3. Tiny fees are the secret weapon, cheaper and usually better than the fancy chef. 4. Your plate grows over the years, plus dividends that snowball. And 5. Start small, show up every month, and stay at the table.
That's it. That's investing on easy mode.
That's it, and you're not behind. You just learned the thing most people take years or never figure out. Quick honest reminder though, this is education, not financial advice. We're explaining how index funds work. Always do your own research before you put $1 in. If a friend would finally get it from this, send it their way. And next week, we've got another one cooking. See you at the next plate.